The Gold Coast campus is like the beachside campus. In fact, it used to be called the beachside campus. Obviously, the focus here is being with the sea and the sand. It's a very nice place for students to come because they love the surf and they can go out and hit the waves between classes. My name's Paul Brown. I'm the manager of customer service here at Southern Cross University. I look after the team that takes care of IT support for staff and student desktops and IT requirements. We also do a little bit of work looking after AV. We manage the lab spaces across our 3 campuses that are based in Queensland and in New South Wales.
My name's Kelly Stewart. I am desktop team leader for the Gold Coast campus, customer service. I've been here on the campus for 6 years on Gold Coast, but working with the university for 10 years. The Gold Coast is a place that's known around the world. It must be the ocean breeze that we have here. The people, the personality, everybody smiles, everybody's happy. We support each other. It's like a small community.
So LabStats has been at use of Southern Cross University for 10 years now. It's been a resource that we rely on to not only monitor the usage levels, but give us the data we need to make decisions about how we want to go. So there's about 1,000 machines in our lab fleet that we manage using LabStats, and we've also recently started using LabStats to monitor the use of hotdesk spaces because we get a lot of requests for hot desks, and understanding how they're used just lets us capacity plan better. We regularly review the use of all the shared spaces. With the data that we get from LabStats makes that review possible. We can base it on facts. We don't have to guess or ask people how well used the spaces are. So it removes any emotion from that decision-making process, and it just lets the senior executive draw the line across the data and say, look, usage above this level, then we will have to reconsider that facility. So we can put some very clear limits and be dynamic about how we decide whether or not something is still being used at a capacity we still want to fund. When there's a pressure on either budget or space, then LabStats is called upon to provide the data that allows that decision-making process. And there has been in the past instances where a lab's been identified as being underutilised, and we've been able to remove some of the workstations in that space to reuse the space for other purposes.
LabStats has made our job easier in regards to application management. We often have a lot of software that gets installed for a future session. LabStats enables us to determine whether or not that software is required throughout the year. Therefore, we can manage our standard operating environment.
LabStats support team have always been very responsive. Despite the time zone differences, they're always available. I've had several conversations with representatives where they phone me up during my business hours, which has been really helpful. And we're very happy with the work that they've done for us. They're always making us aware of updates, so there's a good channel for letting us know when things are about to change. For instance, I know the API is changing later on this year, and we've got plenty of notice to make changes to our integration to that API before the new one goes live. LabStats represents a very good return on the investment. We find we use it a lot to provide data to allow the decision-making process to be based on facts. I think it would be very difficult to have those conversations without LabStats providing that information for us.